In this today's lecture, we will see this wedge friction and we will try to solve some of the problems on this wedge friction. Okay, first we will see what is wedge. The wedge is a piece of wood or metal which is usually transfer or it is usually triangular or trapezoidal in shape. Means wedge is a piece of wood or any metal and it is of triangular shape. We can see from this figure it is of triangular shape or it may be in a trapezoidal shape. Why we use this wedge? We will see here. Wedges are used to either raise large loads or to keep large loads in position. Means we will use these type of wedges, that is triangular wedge and trapezoidal wedge, to lift the large loads. You can see from this figure. Let us consider this figure. Here the body is a large load and it is a resting on a wedge. Wedge is used. If I push the wedge towards left side, then the body will rise. Or if I apply pulling force to this wedge, that is force towards right side, then the body will move downwards. Similarly, this is also a type. Here two wedges are used. You can see this figure. Two wedges are used to lift a body or block of large load. Here I kept two wedges at downside. Above that I kept this shaped body, and if I apply the force, pushing force to both the wedges or the force that tends to move the wedges inwards, then my body, the body will move upwards. If I apply the force, pulling force or outward force to these two wedges, then the body will move downwards. You can see from this graph. Okay, before going into the problems, you will see some of the tips to solve the problems related to wedge friction. Okay, first read, as usual, read the problem carefully and note down the data and write the given figure in the problem. Okay, first note down the data given in the problem, also write the figure. Then second, what we have to do is identify the contact surfaces in the figure. Okay, I took an example here. Okay, I will try to identify the contact surface. Consider this figure, first figure. Here a block is resting on a triangular wedge. This is the surface, and here also vertical surface is there. Body is lean to the vertical surface and resting on a wedge. Wedge in turn resting on a horizontal surface. If I push the wedge towards left side, then body will move upwards. If I pull the wedge towards right side, then the body will move downward direction. Okay, we will see what are the contact surface. This is very important. Identification of contact surface. If I consider this system, first figure, what are the contact surfaces are there? Block A is contact with a vertical surface. Here this I will call as contact surface 1. Then block A is contacted with wedge. Here that is second contact surface, and the wedge is in contact with horizontal surface, that is third surface. Hence in this type of system I had three contact surfaces. Let us consider this figure, right side figure. Okay, how many contact surfaces are there here? Okay, we will see. This is the block resting on two wedges. These two are wedges. Okay, this is the block, large load, resting. These wedges in turn rests on horizontal surface. Okay, how many contact surfaces are there here? Let me see. This is first contact surface between block and the wedges. Okay, then this is the contact surface second, where the two wedges are resting. This is here two contact surfaces are there. Okay, also identify the applied force on wedge. How the force is applied here, whether it is applying towards the wedge or a pushing force, or it is force is applying outwards the wedge, or pulling force. We have to identify that also. This is very important, identification of contact surfaces. Okay, after identification of contact surfaces, the frictional force is generated on all contact surfaces, and the direction of friction force depends on impending motion of body. Means how these bodies moves depends on that direction of friction force, depends on how the body moves and wedge moves. And also this friction force is developed at all contact surfaces. Okay, in this system I already shown how many contact surfaces are there in this figure. If I consider this figure, the three contact surfaces are there. One is body with vertical surface, body with the wedge, and another one is wedge with the horizontal surface. Okay, here you can see. If and force, again what I have to see, how the force is acting. This is P force is acting on the wedge and pushing the wedge towards left. Hence body will move upward direction. We can see from this graph. I am writing this. Since wedge motion is towards left side, so if wedge moves towards left side, body will move upwards, and relative to the relative motion to the wedge, body will move right side. But in reality, body will not move towards right side. But if we compare with the motion of wedge, it seems like body will move towards right. So here you can see body is moving upward as well as body is moving towards right when I push the wedge towards left. And I will write the free body diagram of body first. Okay, body is moving upward, right? So friction will be acting downwards. It is always frictional force is opposite to the direction of movement of a body. And also this body or block is moving towards the right side. Hence the friction is developed towards left side. And the contact surface is one is body with vertical surface and block with wedge. Here two contact surfaces are there for the block or body. On these two contact surfaces, friction force will be generated opposite to the movement of a block or body. Now consider the wedge, free body diagram of wedge. How this wedge is moving? A applied force to the wedge, pushing force. So motion of the wedge is towards left side. Hence friction is generated towards right side. You can see wedge is also having contact with the body and horizontal surface. So with contact with the body, this is the friction force, Fw1 will be generated towards right side because wedge is moving towards left side. Another surface is wedge is with contact with horizontal surface. So friction force Fw2 will be generated on this towards right side. So this is the wedge. Wedge movement is towards left, hence friction will be generated on all contact surfaces. What are the contact surfaces are there? Only in this case two contact surfaces are there. So along two contact surfaces, opposite to the motion of the wedge, the friction force will be generated. Always consider free body diagram of body first, means block. I have to consider always free body diagram of block first. Now what is the normal reactions developed? We will see. Okay, Normal reaction N will generate in all contact surfaces and acting normal to the surface. Okay, you will see this example. Consider this example. Block is resting on a wedge and wedge is moving towards left side by the applied force P. Okay, what are the contact surfaces for this block or body? One is this, that is with respect to vertical. Another one is this with wedge. So along this, my reaction will be, normal reaction will be generated. You can see here one reaction is like this, okay, towards the body, that is NB1. I will call block 1 or body 1. Next is reaction like this. This is NB2 and it is making an angle theta with the vertical axis. Inclined plane, it is perpendicular. If I consider vertical axis, then it is making an angle theta with the y-axis or vertical axis. Okay. Next, let us consider this wedge, free body diagram of wedge over here, shown here. Okay. Then this is the theta angle of the wedge contact surface, that is inclined at an angle theta with the horizontal. Then this NB2, it is acting upwards to the body. Same reaction it is generating downwards on the wedge. And it is of angle same. Here theta is there. So this angle is also theta. This normal reaction generated, that will make an angle theta with the vertical axis. And wedge is in contact with this horizontal surface, second surface. So here one reaction will be generated, that I will call as NW2. This is NB2 are equal to NW1. NB2 means normal reaction on block 2 on block, normal reaction 2 on block, that is equal to normal reaction 1 on wedge. This is the wedge. Same. This is this magnitude, NB2 magnitude is equal to NW1 magnitude. It is acting in this case upwards, same pressure it is acting downwards on the wedge. It is therefore it is shown in downward arrow on the wedge like this. You can see in this figure. Okay, this figure shows combined, that is I combined normal reaction plus a frictional force for the system. Okay, this is the system. Block is resting on a wedge. So if I write a free body diagram by including friction as well as normal reaction, then it will see from this figure. We can see from these two figures. Okay, first I will consider body. Body has one surface here with the vertical, another surface with the wedge. So at the vertical surface, now reaction will be generated towards the body, and friction, since body is moving upwards, one friction will be generated at this contact surface. Okay, since body is moving towards right when compared to the wedge, then friction will be generated opposite to the movement of the body, that is towards left side like this. And reaction force, because this is also a second contact surface of block or body with wedge. This is the normal reaction making an angle theta with the vertical axis. Similarly, if let us consider the free body diagram of wedge. Here also you have two contact surfaces. One is this inclined surface, it is in contact with the block here or body. Okay, another one is with horizontal surface. Here the reaction NW1 will be acting downwards, because same reaction is acting upwards towards body. In this case, same magnitude it is acting downwards on wedge, you can see. And the frictional force, since the wedge is moving towards left side, frictional force will be generated towards right side on this inclined surface. This is one surface of the wedge which is in contact with the block here. Okay, another one is with the surface, horizontal surface. Reaction will be generated and friction will be generated and acting towards right side, since the motion of wedge is towards left side. You can see from this graph. Here theta, same theta I took here. Okay, After that, what you have to apply equilibrium equations, that is sigma fx is equal to 0 or sigma horizontal force is equal to 0, and solve the problem. Sigma fy is equal. Apply sigma fy is equal to 0 or summation of all vertical forces is equal to 0 to solve the problems. First, hint is always consider free body diagram of block or body first. Take up first this block, solve by applying these equilibrium equations, and take the wedge as second case. Okay, we will solve some problems. Okay, let me take this problem. Problem number 9. Determine the force P that must be applied to the 20 kilonewton block B to lift the 100 kilonewton block A shown in figure. Here it is shown. Take coefficient of friction as 0.3 for all contact surfaces. Okay, this is the figure. This is the block A. Okay, it is lean to the vertical surface and resting on a wedge block B. Okay, I am applying pushing force on block B so that block B moves towards left side, block A will rise or block A will be lifted. And similar to the motion of block B, the block A tends to move towards right. Okay, we will try to solve what is the P required to raise this block. Okay, I will write first data. What is data given? Weight of block A is given 100 kilonewton. Weight of block B is given 20 kilonewton. Coefficient of friction is given 0.3. Theta is given for all inclined planes, that is 15 degrees. And P is equal to how? That is pushing force on a wedge is how much to lift the block A. Okay, now first what we have to do to solve these problems, we have to always consider first the block or body. So I written here the free body diagram of block A, that is the body in the present problem. So you see it is in contact with the vertical surface and also contact with the wedge here with inclined plane. Okay, it has two contact surface, one is here and another one is here with the wedge. So since the wedge is moving towards left side, so block relative to the motion of block B, block A will move towards right and also move in upward direction. Motion is upward, here you can see, and here it is towards right. So one normal reaction will be developed like this and acting towards block A because this is one contact surface is there, and since the block is moving upward, friction force will be generated in downward direction and acting in this surface like this. And this is inclined surface of wedge and the body. This is also one contact surface. Here one reaction will be developed, that is Na2. A represents block A, normal reaction. Second, and it is making an angle 15 degrees. This is a 15 degrees, so this is also making 15 degrees with the vertical axis, that is towards y-axis. Since block is moving towards right side, friction will be generated towards left side on inclined surface. It is shown in the figure like this. Okay. Next, step 3, horizontal component of Na1. Okay, this is Na2. This is Na1 is horizontal and Na2 is inclined, so it is the horizontal component will be Na2 sine 15 degrees. Na2 sine 15 degrees. Vertical component will be obviously Na2 cos 15 degrees. Okay, here you can see free body diagram I shown. I resolve into horizontal component. I resolve this into vertical component as well. Okay, now also my in this case frictional force is also inclined. FA2 second frictional force. The frictional force on second contact surface. So if I want horizontal component, then it will become FA2 cos 15. I will call this as FA2 second frictional force on block A. Okay, then vertical component will be like this. Hence it will become FA2 sine 15 degrees. Okay, you can see from this free body diagram. Now, after that, apply equilibrium equations, that is sigma Fy forces on y direction is equal to 0 or vertical direction is equal to 0. What are the vertical forces acting? Minus 100 here written. Okay, minus 100 is this one, weight of the block A. It is acting downwards, hence it is minus. Next is FA1 minus FA1 friction on surface 1 on block A. Okay, here friction, this is the friction force acting downwards, hence it is minus on this surface. Okay, next is Na2 cos 15. Since vertical force, no, this is Na is inclined at an angle 15 degrees, so this is positive. We can see this is the Na2. Na2 is positive, it is acting towards upward, and if I resolve here, it will become cos 15. Okay, next minus Fa2 sine 15 degrees. What is this Fa2? You will see this is the Fa2. If I resolve vertical component, then it will act like this, acting downwards. If I will resolve this inclined force towards vertical direction or y-axis, then it is acting like this. Then it will come Fa2 sine 15 degrees. Okay, then I will apply Fa1 mu into Na1. Okay, for this Fa2 mu into Na2, because limiting friction is equal to mu times normal reaction. I will use that relation. Then I will simplify, substitute here. You can go through these steps. Then I obtain this equation. That is minus 0.3 Na1 plus 0.89 Na2 is equal to 100. I will call this as equation 1. Okay. Now we will apply summation of all horizontal forces is equal to 0 or x direction. Forces in x direction is equal to 0. We will see what are the forces. One is this force Na1 is there acting towards the right side, hence it is positive. It is given here Na1. Then Fa2 cos 15, it is for frictional force in contact surface second, and it is minus sign. We will see this is the force acting towards left side, and if I resolve into x direction or horizontal component, then it will become Fa2 cos 15 degrees, and it is acting leftwards, hence it is minus. I took here minus. And one more force is this Na2. Na2 force is inclined at an angle 15 degree with the vertical. So if I resolve into x direction, then it will become Na2 sine 15 degrees. That is minus. We will see this here. This Na2. This Na2, if I resolve into horizontal component, then it is also acting towards left side, and it will become sine. Since the angle is with vertical, if I resolve into horizontal component, then it will become sine. Na2 sine 15 degrees. It is acting leftwards, hence I took minus sign over here. Okay, then I will simplify this Fa2. I substitute mu into n. Okay, hence it becomes 0.3. Na2 mu value is 0.3. Then the equation simplifies to this form. Okay, then Na1 is equal to 0.55 Na2. I will call this as equation 2. Okay. Now what I will do, I will substitute this Na1 in this equation 1 for this Na1 to obtain Na2. Okay. Now substitute Na1 in equation 1. I shown here. This is the Na1. I am substituting Na1 value. That is 0.55 Na2 in this equation. Then the equation becomes like this. That is minus 0.3. This is mu into Na2. Not 0.5 into Na2. This is Na1 value plus 0.89 Na2 is equal to. Then after simplification, Na2 is 137.9 kilonewtons. I obtained this value. Then if I substitute Na2 in equation 2, here Na2 value, then I will get Na1. Then Na1 work out to be 75.9 kilonewton. Okay, I considered first block and resolve the forces. Now I will consider the free body diagram of wedge. Okay, here Na2 is acting on a block. Same Na2 is acting on a wedge in this form, that is downward direction. Same Na2, and it is also making an angle 15 degrees with the vertical axis. Since the wedge is moving towards left side, friction will be generated towards right side and all contact surface. The wedge is in contact with the block here, so one friction force will be developed here. Another one is wedge is in contact with horizontal surface, so one more friction will be developed on this surface. Here you can see here one frictional force over here, another frictional forces in this surface. It is in contact with this horizontal surface, hence reaction also there. You can see from this free body diagram. This Na2 is equal as this Na2. For A block, it is acting upwards. For wedge, it is acting down. The magnitude will be same. Okay. Now, horizontal component of Na2 is Na2 sine 15, and its vertical component is Na2 cos 15. Also, this friction on inclined plane will resolve into horizontal and vertical component. Then it will become Fb1 cos 15 and Fb2 sin 15. Now I will apply equilibrium equation, that is sigma Fy is equal to 0, or summation of all vertical forces is equal to 0. Okay, what are the vertical forces here? One is this one. If I resolve into vertical component, then it will become Na2 cos 15 degrees, and it is acting downwards, hence it is minus, represented in minus here. Another one is this weight of block B is there, wedge, that is acting downwards, so hence it is minus 20. If I take this friction, it is inclined now, so I will take its vertical component, then it will become Fb1 sin 15 degrees, and one more normal reaction is there in this surface, it is Nb1 and acting upwards, hence it is positive. This friction, if I resolve, then it is also acting positive, so upward direction, so it is positive. Here it is represented. Then after simplification, okay, here, so for Fb1 I substitute mu n A2, okay, then same, and then the equation reduces to Nb1 is equal to 142.3 kilonewton. This Nb1 I found by applying summation Fy is sigma Fy is equal to 0 or sigma V is equal to 0. Now I will apply summation of horizontal forces is equal to 0, that is x direction is equal to 0. Then the equation becomes like this: Na2 sin 15. This is Na2 sin 15. You resolve here, it will become sin and acting towards right side, hence it is positive. This force, horizontal force Na2 sine 15 is positive. Okay, we will see from this. Na2 is here. If I resolve into horizontal component, then it will become Na2 sine 15 degrees. Since 15 is with vertical, so it will become sine 15 degrees and acting towards right. Hence it is positive. One is this horizontal force component of Na2 will be in horizontal direction. So I substituted here. Okay. Next, FB1 cos 15. FB1, this is the FB1. It is inclined at an angle 15 degrees with the horizontal. If I resolve horizontal component, then it will become FB1 cos 15 degrees and acting towards right side. Hence it is positive, and plus FB2 here it is also acting on a x direction and also towards right side, hence it is positive FB2. Okay, then minus p is this is the pushing force on wedge, this is acting towards left side, hence it is minus. Here it is given, okay. Then the equation becomes like this: Na2 sine 15 plus FB1 cos 15 plus FB2 minus p is equal to 0. Na2 I will substitute this value. Okay, Na2 you obtained over here, Na2 value previously, so 137.9. Okay, 137.9 and sine 15 as it is. For FB1 I substitute mu into Na2. F is equal to friction, limiting friction is equal to mu times normal reaction. So instead of F friction, I substitute mu into normal reaction here for this. Mu into normal reaction to Na2. Here Na is there. So this is normal reaction for this surface. Hence it becomes mu times normal reaction. This friction of force. I substituted over here for that. Then FB2, this is friction at contact surface 2 of 2. This is the contact surface 2, that is wedge making in contact with horizontal surface. This is the friction. If I want friction, then it is mu times normal reaction. This is the normal reaction, NB1. This is I substitute mu into NB1 minus P is equal to 0. Then I substituted value of mu 0.3 and Na2 as it is 137.9 cos 15 mu again same, and this is the coefficient of friction is same for all the surfaces. It is given in the problem. Then NB2 here I found it is worked out to be 142.3 kilonewton. That one I substituted here and minus P is equal to 0. Then this simplifies us to this form, and my pushing force on wedge is equal to 118.4 kilonewton. Hence, I require this pushing force to lift the block A of 100 kilonewtons. Here, pushing force to lift block A, I require how much? I require 118.4 kilonewton. 118.4 kilonewton to lift the block A weighing 100 kilonewtons. Hence the problem is solved.